Stacktastic, the weekly web show for the avid comic book reader and those who aspire to become so. But any comic book reader would find themselves tested by a 10-part miniseries like Age of Ultron, especially as it failed to deliver on almost every level week after week. But then last week, as I went along the shelf at Midtown Comics collecting my pull list, I knew something was up as soon as I saw that black plastic bag. Yes, that's how Marvel tries to counteract spoilers these days, you know, when they're not breaking the story a day early in the major US newspapers. But after I tore off that black plastic bag and read Age of Ultron Book 10, a smile came across my face as rumors were confirmed, iconic characters recharged, and one of my own theories teased. So today I'll tell you my own thoughts of Age of Ultron and possibly save you $40 in the process. Plus, as always, my recommendations of what comics to pick up or download this week. Let's get started. So the biggest news out of Age of Ultron would probably have to be the 616 debut of Angela. For those of you not familiar with Marvel lingo, the 616 is the main Marvel universe, while for instance the Ultimates line occupies an alternate universe. And bringing Angela into the 616 is such a big deal because she's not coming over from an alternate Marvel universe, but rather from Image Comics' Spawn. How can such a thing happen? Well, according to Age of Ultron, our heroes have time traveled one time too many, damaging the multiverse. But bottom line, this is Marvel's equivalent to DC's Superboy Prime Punch, an excuse to do a lot of cool shit. And Angela is about to become very cool, as she'll be the second character after Iron Man to join Guardians of the Galaxy in an attempt to lure readers over to the Fringe title that will soon be a major motion picture. As a matter of fact, as I looked at the teaser ad for Guardians of the Galaxy number 5, I couldn't help but feel a little bad for Gamora and Zoe Saldana, who plays her in the movie, as clearly the Green Assassin will no longer be the hottest, coolest, or deadliest woman on the team. And as if Angela doesn't have enough fanboy cred, rumor is she'll be played by Doctor Who vet Karen Gillan. Now, what iconic characters have been recharged? Well, the obvious one is Hank Pym, who this very week is getting his very own one-shot, which promises to dramatically change his role in the Marvel Universe. Isn't there an Ant-Man movie on the horizon? Perhaps it will focus on Hank Pym rather than Scott Lang, as director Edgar Wright had originally intended. But I was also happy to see Susan Storm, aka the Invisible Woman, play a larger, more proactive role in the entire Age of Ultron run. Sure, her whole family had to be killed off in order for her to step up to the plate, but maybe editorially this is a sign of bigger things to come for Sue. Previously, she's always been more of a wife and a mother before a hero, so it would be nice for her to get a chance to switch things up, or at least even them out. After all, with both her kids studying hard at the Future Foundation, doesn't that make her an empty nester? Finally, while Galactus has crossed over to the Ultimate Universe thanks to Age of Ultron, seeing Miles Morales swing across the pages of Book 10 fueled my theory and hope that he'll soon be joining the 616 himself. Many of you doubted me when I said it might be Miles on the cover of the upcoming Mighty Avengers. How do you feel now? And how do you feel about Age of Ultron? Worth the trip, both in terms of time and money, considering where we ended up? Personally, like Avengers vs. X-Men, I wish Marvel would put as much thought into the story part of these universe-altering miniseries as they do the changes they'll bring. Wow, I hope you have some money saved up, because it's not just raining good comics this week, it's pouring. First up, DC continues to keep the focus on Man of Steel with another new Superman title, this time Batman Superman. Greg Pak did a nice job writing Phoenix Endsong, but the real star here is artist Jay Lee, and I mean artist with a capital Art. And speaking of Jai Lee, you can catch his work on Before Watchmen Ozymandias, which comes out as a trade this week. This was one of my favorite Before Watchmen titles, and what do you know? My other two favorites, Minutemen and Silk Spectra, come out in a combo trade as well this week. While the morality of Before Watchmen is debatable, at least there's no question that these three titles do a good job honoring the legacy of the original. And if you're a Green Lantern fan, you'll definitely want to check out Larfleeze #1, as the selfish Orange Lantern demands a place in the New 52. Also, Awake #2 hits shelves pretty quick after #1, so be sure to pick up one or both issues this week. Then over at Marvel, there's that Age of Ultron epilogue I was just telling you about, with big and badly needed changes in store for Hank Pym. Another character that needs help connecting with readers is Peter Quill, who was unfortunately not the star of the new Guardians of the Galaxy title. So Marvel is re-releasing some of his backstory this week in the supersized Star-Lord Hollow Crown one-shot. And another hot talent joins Image. This time it's none other than Greg Rucka, who reteams with his Gotham Central artist Michael Lark for Lazarus, the story of a woman trying to defend her family's wealth and influence in a dystopian future. Finally, I can't believe it, but I'm going to recommend a Dynamite title. This publisher's tendency towards TNA books usually keeps it off my radar, but when Andy Diggle comes on board, it gets my attention, and it should get yours as well. Here, the Losers writer debuts Uncanny, which is basically about a male version of Rogue. And that's this week's Stacktastic. I'm Grace Randolph for Think About the Ink. Hope to see you back on Friday for Between the Pages. Until then, happy reading.